Hi, it's Alvi from Luminescence Heart-Centered Healing. I am here about to do a general reading for you guys. Um, I was going to say, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, it's a general reading, so it might not resonate with all of you. If you find that it doesn't resonate, or it resonates a bit but you want more, you need more clarity or you need more guidance, you can always book a personal reading with me. If you go to my Facebook page, Luminescence Heart Centered Healing and Twin Flame Magic, you can book straight from there, or you can have a chat to me and see if I can help you with your particular situation. I'm also selling some, what would you call them? Magical tools and things like that now. So I've got tarot cards and candles and cauldrons and all that sort of stuff that you can purchase from my shop on my Facebook page. So if you're interested in that, go have a look. I've got crystals as well, some pretty cool crystals and pendulums and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to go straight to the cards. Now, this is the first card that we have, which is Judgment reversed. Okay, so it says putting the past to rest, but what I'm getting as a channel message is to put your judgment aside. The reason being is the next card is stress and anxiety. So what I'm seeing here is that there's going to be a situation coming up this week that it might trigger you, okay? Being triggered means that it's a situation that might seem the same as something from the past where you got hurt, or it didn't end well or something like that, and it's traumatized you and you've kind of kept it in your subconscious. And when something like that comes up, it can make you feel like you're back in that same situation. So you react the same way that you did back then, or you react in a way that causes damages to that situation and to the people involved. That they don't. It might be irreparable. It might be something that doesn't need to come up in that particular situation, but it will if you don't put your past to rest and kind of take a step back instead of reacting. We need to all kind of develop what we call equinamity, or open-hearted detachment in the spiritual world. It's like creating a buffer zone around you, an emotional buffer zone, so that you don't take things personally, but you also know that sometimes when you react, it's not about the situation that's happening right at this particular time. It's about something that happened in the past, but you kind of feel like it's happening at this particular time. So the best way to deal with that is to kind of hang on, sorry, my guides are saying that also if you have these blocks that cause you to trigger, to feel triggered, they are blocks, but they'll also keep calling these situations to you until you clear them and until you pass them, or resolve them. So what they're actually saying is, they're saying, what I'm getting is that you need to develop this judgment, putting your judgment on hold. Don't judge the situation before you actually think about it. Don't go into over emotional reactions. Actually wait and see what happens. Take a pause, take a step back, and think about it instead of just going crazy for whatever the situation happens to be. So yeah, it's talking about putting the past to rest as well. The stress and anxiety is going to come up, and this is why that card has come up first. It's asking you, when this situation comes up that causes you stress and anxiety, you need to have a different reaction to get a different outcome. You don't want the same outcome as last time, so you need to stop and think about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, so that you don't get the same outcome, so that things don't go the same way. And then you kind of will not necessarily resolve the whole thing, but once you can see that it doesn't always have to end that way, it doesn't always have to be that way, you can start working on that and eventually resolve those blocks. Also, if you want to really get rid of some blocks like that, you can come and see me for an energy healing. That's exactly what I do, is I help remove those blocks in your energy field that that keep calling these situations back to you, and also that stop you from moving forward in life. Okay, so yeah, the last card that I've got here is enjoying the outcome. So yes, this is what these cards are saying. They're saying, make sure that when this situation with the stress and anxiety comes up, you don't react the same way. You put your judgment aside, and you think about it rationally instead of, when you get angry, you're not rational. There's no way. Or you get upset, you're not rational. Like, you go back to being a 2 or 3 year old child throwing a tantrum. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that that when you were like that, you cannot be an adult at the same time. You can't access your adult brain, and you can't be rational about things. So if you're feeling that way, you need to take some steps back and tell the people in that situation, hey, look, I need some space and some time to actually work this out, because I don't want to take it out on you when it's not really anything to do with you. That could be a good way to try and do it. A lot of what's coming out of my mouth right now is channeled messages, so it's kind of a surprise to me too, is what I'm saying. I'm going to pull some cards to clarify the stress and anxiety, see if we can sort of get to the bottom of it, find out what's going on with that. Okay, so the first card that we have is your own power reversed. What this is really saying to me is that it's saying you're not standing in your own power because it's reversed. You have your power there, it's there. You don't know how to access it, or you feel like you don't have the right to access it. Perhaps you have problems with, setting boundaries, or there's a certain person that you're having to deal with at the moment who's really pushing your ability to stand up for yourself and stand in your own power. So, yeah, let me just think. We'll pull another card and then we'll see what it says. Sometimes my mind just goes completely blank, and I guess that's when I'm not channeling anymore. So, all right, so the next one we've got is pause and observation reversed again. Lots of reversed energy here. It's all stuff that's going on inside. It's not being expressed, and that is always, it's never really all that good. There's some stuff you probably don't want to go spilling out to everybody in the world, but internalizing issues is not a very good way to deal with them. It doesn't resolve them. It just causes what we were talking about before, traumas and triggers and blocks in your energy field. So what I'm getting from this card is observation. It's not pause and observation so much. It's like you're at a standstill. You want to move forward, but you don't know how, because you're not able to stand in your own power for whatever reason, and that's causing the stress and anxiety. So let's just have another card and see, because we have this as the outcome, right? So this is enjoying the outcome. So that's a really good card at the end, but I'm just trying to work out how do we go through this part here and, kind of get to where we need to go. How do we get to enjoying the outcome? So let's just pull a few clarification cards on that one. So how do we get to enjoying the outcome? How do we stand in our own power? How do we move forward past this block? I know I've given you a few clues and a few... I can't even actually remember what it was that came out of my mouth, because it was a channel message. So I'm going to have to watch this back and find out what I said about... it was like, putting your judgment on hold and taking yourself away to think about things and resolve them without, causing more damage by taking it out on people who don't, who aren't part of what happened previously, or weren't in that situation, or just, it's not relevant for where you are right now. Okay, so how do we get to enjoying the outcome? One more card or two, maybe, we'll see. We get there by not thinking about the past. This is reflection, right? It's reversed again. There's so many reversed cards. My deck's not upside down though. I promise you that. I had actually had a look. It's just that there's lots of reversed energy. It's probably because of what's going on with the supermoon and the eclipses. We're being asked to kind of, assess what's going on underneath the surface. So this card here, this is reflection. This is, it's talking about nostalgia. It's talking about like living in the past as well. When it's reversed, it can mean that, rather than moving forward, you live in the past and you're still thinking about the past and you're still, reminiscing about the good times of the past rather than, being present and enjoying what's going on around you right now. So, asking questions as well. I'm going to pull another card and see. So how do we get to the outcome? Because they're sort of warning cards, I guess. They're asking you, they're coming up to call you out and say, hey, look, this is the situation as it is now. You can reverse it. So let's have a look. How do we get to enjoying the outcome? How do we stop living in the past? How do we let go and put the past to rest? So does it cause this standstill and this stress and anxiety and this feeling of losing your power when you haven't really lost it? It's always there. It's just when you feel anxious and stressed out, it's very typical and very normal to go into this kind of victim mentality where, somebody else is doing it to you. It's someone else's fault. It's God's fault. God is doing this to me. I can't do anything about it. And that's not true. It's just a cop-out, really. It's just a really good way to kind of, excuse yourself from having to have any responsibility about things. We got jumpers. All right, so how do we get... Sorry. I'm not going to read those cards because I wasn't thinking. While I was shuffling, I was talking. So how do we get to enjoying the outcome? Now I'm flipping that. Okay. All right. I flipped it, but it was actually the right way up this time, so that's cool. And the card that I got was the Fool. So it talks about trust. First of all, it's trusting in the universe. It's being able to let go and surrender and just saying, okay, universe, I know you kind of know my highest path and I know that you know the best things for me, so I'm going to let go of trying to make things happen, whether that be by, kind of living in the past and wishing that the past was happening. It's asking you to let go of all of that stuff and, sort of enjoy the now. It says spontaneity and taking chances on this particular Fool. So this is how you get to enjoying the outcome. You have to let go of holding on to the past and living in the past and reminiscing and wishing that things were how they were, a couple of years ago or whenever, because it's holding you back and it's making you feel like you have no power because you're thinking about what happened back then, not what's happening now, and you're not. When you're doing that, you're not actually co-creating with the universe. You're not manifesting your desires. You're not even directing your life. You're just sitting there at a standstill, feeling like shit about yourself because nothing's working for you. So you need to stop. You need to stop and take yourself out of that mode and start being spontaneous and take chances and all of that sort of stuff, and that will help you. I'm going to draw one more card and see what that one says, and this will be the outcome card, okay? The outcome card. Unfulfilled expectations. Okay, maybe that's not the outcome card. Okay, so again, it's talking about, it's just all talking about like all this stuff from the past, right? These unfulfilled expectations and thinking about the past and reminiscing and not being able to move forward from the past. This is what this card is representing, this reflection card here. So you're stuck. And this card here pretty much says it all. Put your past to rest and put your judgment on hold for now and let things be spontaneous and let things be playful. And, you know, like the Fool is the cosmic jester, so the Fool doesn't take anything seriously. The Fool just plays around and plays the Fool, you know, and everything's a big joke. And they like to have fun, and they don't, you know, get upset about stuff so much. So this is the key. These are the two keys here. Putting your judgment on hold, putting your past to rest, not reacting, and not reacting in negative ways, but learning to, you know, channel into spontaneity and happiness and playfulness and all of that sort of stuff. I think that's probably enough for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and if you would like a private reading with me or a healing session with me, you can go to the link that I'm going to leave on this video, and come to my page on Facebook and book a session or have a chat with me. And yeah, okay, I think that's probably enough.